Assange has been living in the Ecuadorian embassy since 2012 to avoid arrest and extradition to Sweden over rape allegations. Those charges have now been dropped, but Assange is still wanted by British police for skipping bail. He argued the arrest warrant no longer had a purpose since he's no longer wanted in Sweden, but the judge ruled the warrant remains valid. Let's speak to Sarah Morice, who's outside the Ecuadorian embassy in London. So did the judge say why the warrant had to be upheld?
Well, yes, Julie, she's essentially said that the act of skipping bail is a standalone offence and quite separate to the investigation that was dropped in Sweden. She's saying, point one, Assange skipped bail. Point two, he's now wanted on that. And if there's no good reason as to why he skipped bail, then point three is that he could reasonably be prosecuted or found guilty of skipping bail. So that's why she says she's not going to drop this arrest warrant. Keep in mind, of course, his legal argument has always been, well, now that the Swedish case is over, there's no point having this arrest warrant in place for me because I'm no longer wanted in Sweden. Now, very interestingly, and this is just developing now, the hearing is actually surely still going on. We understand that the argument being that there is no point having this arrest warrant out is just one of the arguments Assange's legal team is making. Because they failed on that point, they're going to try and make a few new points, and we understand one of them is going to be that it's no longer in the public interest that Assange have this arrest warrant out against him. We understand the judge has gone out, had a little bit of a think about this. We know the prosecution had tried to put a stop to this further appeal, but the judge has said she's going to hear it. So now we have this hearing ongoing, and we've had a tweet from Julian Assange himself, and I might read it to you. He basically is saying, wall-to-wall fake news here. It is not true that the government won this ruling today. I've only made one of 4 points, and we will continue. So certainly Julian Assange watching on very critically of the media's reporting of this particular case, but it seems the hearing is still going on.
OK, so he's still hoping for the best, and I guess everyone's wondering whether he's going to come out and say something. He's still in the embassy behind you. By all accounts, he's desperate to get out because he has all kinds of health problems.
That's right. We know that doctors have been in to see him and they say he has a condition known as cold shoulder, essentially a sore shoulder, also has some problems with his teeth and is also suffering depression. And they say one of the reasons he may be suffering depression is that for 5.5 years now he's been holed up in the embassy here behind me, not getting proper sunlight, not getting proper airflow. He obviously hasn't been able to come outside. On rare occasions he does appear on the balcony there behind me, but he hasn't actually physically left the building in a very, very long time. And they're now saying his human rights are being abused with the way that he's being detained in this building. That's certainly his argument, and his legal team's argument, and his supporters' argument. Worth noting that some of his supporters today actually cried in court when the judge initially said that she would be keeping that arrest warrant in place. But we know that this legal fight will continue even if he loses as the hearing continues here. We know that his legal team will keep fighting because, of course, he wants to leave the embassy here and he wants to try and get to Ecuador, we understand, because he is still very fearful that there is a secret US arrest warrant out against him, meaning that if he is outside this embassy, he may be arrested and extradited to the US, where we understand he's wanted for questioning over some military secrets that were leaked as part of his WikiLeaks platform.